I think go ahead then. That's what he said.
Purvi, good to go. You can go live. Nirav, are you live? Purvi, start.
Hi.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Purvi, we are live. Please start.
Great. Good evening, everyone. And welcome all of you back to Dtech Dialogues. We had a fantastic and successful Dtech Dialogues 1, where we spoke about leveraging AI for clinical trials and also looked at the gaps and how we had a very interesting discussion also. So you see, the whole point is a dialogue. We want you to interact with us and we want to interact with you more. And this is the best way that we can think of at the moment. But before we begin, let me just introduce quickly. Of course, thank you for your time. Thank you for logging in today. And it's very touching and very inspiring to see so many technocrats as well as medical professionals joining in for these kind of webinars, especially for the Dtech. But let me just quickly introduce Dtech to you. It's a platform that was created with the single aim of bridging the gap between tech innovators and us healthcare professionals to foster more meaningful collaborations and advanced technology and therapeutics in the field of diabetes and metabolic disorders. The flagship initiative of Dtech has been DtechCon, and this year, mind you, 2025 marks the 4th year for the World Congress of Diabetes Technology and Therapeutics right here in Jaipur, India. This is not just a conference, it's literally a much sought after event because there are experts converging to discuss cutting edge innovation in digital health, AI, and also therapeutics. In fact, all the 3 previous years, we've had to close down the registrations well in advance. And this year too, we had, before the end of DtechCon 2024, we had more than 150 registrations already on this very same day. At its core, Dtech is an open portal free for those who are truly enthusiastic about diabetes technology and want to contribute to this evolution and be a part of this trending era. Our goal is to create a collaborative ecosystem where ideas can flourish, experts connect, and technology transforms patient care. Thus, we do look forward to your insights and active participation in shaping the future of diabetes technology together. And with that, I welcome all our experts here today. But give me a minute and I'm going to, because today's session is a very specific one. It's a very, it's an important one and it's a very practical one. And I'm really looking forward to it myself so that we all can learn together. There it is. So just as a prep for today's session, just introducing the session itself, we're going to start with the introduction of AI and machine learning by Dr. Manoj Chawla. We will navigate through ChatGPT with Dr. Amit Gupta, and we will learn how to create our own custom GPT with Dr. Rakesh Parikh. And we will also learn how to leverage other LLMs or large language models with Dr. Bharat Sabu. And we will have a discussion post that, and I'm hoping that we have our senior experts also join in for the same. But without much ado, let me just tell you what the prep for today's session is going to be. So whether you have the Apple phone or the Apple systems or the Android ones, this is where you'll search, go to the Google Play or the App Store and download the ChatGPT official app by OpenAI. That will ease your learning for today. And of course, don't forget DtechCon 2025 this year in May. And the last date for submission of all your abstracts is 15th March 2025. That's coming up next week. So do plan your work accordingly. You can see not only our founder members on the flyer, but also our patrons and advisors. And you can see that we really have the who's who of diabetes technology on this board. So without much ado, let's get going with the first session for today. And that is with Dr. Manoj Chawla. He's going to introduce AI and machine learning to all of us. He's a director and consultant diabetologist at Lina Diabetes Care and Mumbai Diabetes Research Center. Also consultant at PD Hinduja, SL Raja Fortis, BSCS and Arogyanadi hospitals in Mumbai. He's importantly co-founder of Dtech, this important platform that we all are lucky to use, and elected member of the executive committee of RSSDI, co-founder of Diabetes Research and Solutions, scientific chairman, Diabetes India 2023, organizing secretary, Diabetes India 2022. He's also a postgraduate teacher with several publications. So welcome, Dr. Chawla, and I hand over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Purvi, and a warm welcome to everyone who's joined in. We, though virtually, but artificial intelligence is allowing us to feel the pulse of excitement towards this webinar. A lot of planning and hard work and credits to Dr. Rakesh Parekh, Purvi, and a big thank to all the experts who've joined in today, and to all of you who've made that effort of registering and joining in. We keep hearing about some technical issues that people have come across, but the fact that you've been able to register and join in, we are extremely thankful for the same. I'm going to be playing the role of the Startup Act, which, very often before the main act comes in, people tend to miss it. I'm just the filler giving it. You have the main rock star artists coming in soon after me, who are going to take you through the live use of the various AI tools, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. So what I'm going to be doing over the next 6-7 minutes is give an aspect of my understanding of artificial intelligence, or as many of us prefer to call it now, augmented intelligence. I too conventionally have been not very happy with the word artificial, but nonetheless, that's what it's become popular with. So let me do that. So let me start with sharing my screen and doing the bit on understanding of AI. I'm trying to keep it simple for many of you here who are starting off with this understanding. Yeah, okay. To understand the basic simple terminologies, I believe my slides are seen and they are in full screen mode now.
No, yeah, now it is.
Okay, thanks. Let's in fact, even before I use the word artificial intelligence, well, what is intelligence? It's something that every living being is equipped with from birth, or thanks to the Almighty. Every aspect of daily routine or survival comes out of intelligence. When you try and cross a road, or you button up a shirt, or just learning to survive the flight and the fear passages, is all part of intelligence that every living being has. So what is artificial intelligence? Well, when you try and train the machines to become intelligent and function more closer to what humans may be functioning, is what is referred to as artificial intelligence. So in pure definition, AI is the simulation of human intelligence in machines which are now programmed to think and act like humans. And I'll give you some examples in a day-to-day life. And of course, you will learn much more about the tools in our day-to-day practice, our research, etc., when my colleagues here get into the actual demos. Learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, language comprehension, they're all examples of various cognitive abilities. So let's understand this better. Now, artificial intelligence is a method of making a computer or a computer-controlled robot or a software think more intelligently like the human mind, as I said. AI is accomplished by studying the patterns of the human brain and by analyzing the cognitive process. The entire aspect of your chemical relay, the neural networks, all of this is actually a role model for us to develop artificial intelligence and machine learning. The outcome of these studies over the last several decades have now led to the ability to develop more intelligent software and systems. So many would say, is computer an example of artificial intelligence? Well, the computers of the past or your CPU units were actually great data processing units. And they would do a program that they were trained for, but they wouldn't be intelligent enough to find other solutions. So artificial intelligence today is turning machines from the older task-driven machines to more to machines which can now think and come up with solutions and offer solutions just like the human mind would. Let me explain this a little better. So artificial intelligence, and there are some terminologies which I will try and explain. So you talk about artificial intelligence, as I said, which is exhibited by machines. It can be any kind of computer or hardware, your handheld phone, and all of these are examples of the hardwares. Some of the earliest examples could be calculators, mobile phones. All of these are examples of AI coming in. Then you hear a term called machine learning. So just like when we talk about technology and we talk about insulin pumps, AID systems, we try and first speak about the different terms. Every time we speak about continuous glucose monitoring, for the longest time, the Dtech group has tried to clarify that what is the larger term CGM, FGM is a part of CGM, there are no different aspects, what is AGP? So we're trying to always explain to our colleagues here the understanding of the terminologies, and which is what I'm doing. So machine learning refers to machines learn and improve using different data and algorithms. So when you look at your search engines, say Google, or your social media like Facebook, they learn from the data and they continue to change their behavior. So I'm sure it's not surprising to any of you that when these are linked, if you search something on Google, Facebook will start showing you advertisements for that product. Now, all of this is machine learning. So they learn from what you have searched and the data, and they get more intelligent, and they start springing up those particular products for you to keep seeing on your face. Even if you just searched one out of curiosity, Facebook is not going to spare you. It's going to keep putting up that. So that's machine learning. Then understand the term deep learning. So deep learning is something which is inspired by the human brain. I did mention the deep neural networks, computer vision, natural language processing, NLP. Now, these are further tools that the computers or the machines are learning to give us better solutions, and hence referred to as deep learning. So when you talk about speech to text, text to speech, Google Lens that you very often use on your phones, or your DigiYatra, when you go into the airport, your facial recognition is an example of deep learning that the machines have learned to identify and let you in, which is reducing the load on the CISF at the entry point, or for you, reducing the time taken to enter the airport. And then it is generative AI, which is to create new content and ideas based on inputs, could be text, audio, video, and which is where come in your generative AI tools, whether it's ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, Meta, etc. And you'll learn much more today on these aspects. Machine learning is a subset of AI that focuses on the development of algorithms. Its significance lies in its ability to handle vast amount of information. It enables predictive analytics, automation, and enhanced decision making across various applications. So this is the general term for machine learning and AI, and this may be applicable to all different aspects. It can be to automotive industry, it can be to medicine, it can be to consumer retail, it can be to social media, and so on. Further, let's understand what are the types of machine learning. So within the machine learning, you have certain applications which are more supervised in nature. So largely task driven, they predict the next value. So this is based on the data which is entered. So it's more supervised in nature. Then you have unsupervised machine learning, which actually is it identifies clusters. So it's not going to be a task which is based on your patterns, but more general patterns, and it will identify and bring up with certain solutions. And then reinforcement is a part of machine learning which improvises, learns from mistakes. To further elaborate on that, when we say supervised machine learning, so it uses labeled data, so pre-existing data, and it trains models. So for example, predicting blood glucose levels on the past data. So you have a lot of machine learning tools where your 14 days of CGM without continuing CGM can predict the data. Now one may question its validity and accuracy, but it's a kind of supervised machine tool for us to understand. When we speak about supervised, you know what, let me give you an example which is away from our medical and diabetes terminology. Many of us use Truecaller. So when you use Truecaller on your phone, based on the labeled data and the input it gets, your Truecaller will tell you when a call is a spam and make it a red in color. So that your spam, non-spam that your phone also picks up from the Truecaller is a part of supervised machine learning. Now, when we talk about unsupervised, it finds patterns in unlabeled data. Well, if difficult to understand that sentence, forget it. What is unsupervised? Identifying, say, diabetes based on patient characteristics. So the subtypes. Now, all of us may not be able to remember the different subclassifications. You enter the subtypes, and it will tell you the based on patient characteristics, what subtype does this patient belong to? Is it MOD? Is it SID, or so on? Again, a non-medical example. Let's say, in general, human behavior. When you go for shopping and you enter into a particular section and you are looking for a nice shirt. Now, based on the patterns that has been identified, that somebody who's buying a shirt may also be likely to look for a tie or a jacket. So where do we place all these different aspects in a store, in a retail store? Or the fact that at the cashier counter, you will have certain things that you are very often tempted to pick up while you're standing in the queue. What to keep there is also something which comes from unsupervised machine learning, which is from the general characteristics of patients you are helping solutions. And then reinforcement, the AI-driven insulin pumps, which adjust. So your AID systems, which is learning from the previous errors and improvising in algorithms, is a perfect example for reinforcement machine learning. So AI applications in diabetes, the current state, well, where do you use it more for? For clinical decision support system, risk stratification, patient self-management tools, and automatic retinal screening are some of the examples. Now, AI in diabetic retinopathy has been one of the earliest examples that we have used, isn't it? So which is where, when we talk about AI, machine learning, deep learning, it's because of this that on the basis of multiple fundus images which would have been entered for it to learn, today when you enter a fundus image, based on aspects of machine and deep learning, we will get an automated report when it sees the hemorrhages and exudates that this patient probably has proliferative diabetic retinopathy. So in human mind, may also sometimes in a rush miss some of this, but the machine which has learned will actually see every aspect and report it, which may be further validated by a physician, clinician actually. So AI can be used in diagnosis and monitoring, and you have its usage in continuous monitoring. You have predictive modeling. So the newer CGM that we anticipate from Roche is going to be having predictive AI in telling us the direction. The current CGMs give you the arrow. They tell you if the sugar is going down, step up. This is going to have a predictive, going to tell you that not only it's going down, but in the next 2 hours, the patient is likely to have a hypoglycemia, so take action. So which is where predictive AI is coming in. This again is your clinical decision support, where AI and machine learning is helping. So as we can see from various data sources, the raw data gets pre-processed and further feature engineering. And then you may have short-term blood glucose level prediction. You may have a postprandial hypo prediction, a nocturnal hypoglycemia prediction, and so on. So its usage of data analysis will help us in clinical decision support. AI-driven treatment strategies, we can allow personalized treatment plans. So all of us are doing that today on the basis of CGM and predictive monitoring tools. Pharmacological interventions. So that's what we are looking at today. When you talk about individualizing treatment, today we are doing it on the basis of comorbid factors. Somebody has cardiac or renal, this is the drug of choice. But tomorrow, the tools may allow us to, based on patient's characteristics, history, other phenotypic features, actually tell us that which drug may work better. And sometimes that's going to be based on genomics as well. Some challenges, well, ethical concerns will always be there, especially with data privacy and security risk. Accessibility and cost barrier, which I believe will improve and come down as the usage increases. There will always be questions on reliability and some bias, but that's with every technology that comes in, and it improves with time. So we need to understand what limitations would be there. Let me finally leave you with this thought. What can AI replace? So it can replace analyzing large data sets for early diabetes risk prediction, makes it very fast. Enhancing the triage that you do and prioritizing high-risk diabetes patients. So you may start using AI-based models in how your clinic flow works actually. Automating administrative tasks like logging glucose levels, improving accuracy in identifying metabolic anomalies. So we sometimes at the end of the day may be tired in picking up things, but the machine, of course, doesn't get tired and can help us in these tasks. What AI cannot replace is decades of clinical experience that all of you have. Providing empathetic support. So it's a machine. Well, we don't know if the machines improve to have emotions also ahead, but as of now, it doesn't. The human touch and personalized care will always be important, especially in medicine. Making certain nuanced decisions when you are in a catch-22 situation. Again, it's your human mind and brain and empathy that comes in. Offering a holistic view of metabolic health within individualized context is what AI cannot replace. And building trust and rapport. So you may use AI as an ally for you, between you and your patient, but at the end of the day, it's the physician which is going to be important to still reinforce the faith and the trust. That's what doctors do and are important for. Let's prepare for the future and adapting to AI in healthcare. We focus more on ethical AI development, and my colleagues, the two experts in AI, shall mention that. Let's strengthen the data security, support continuous learning for professionals, and Dtech, the Dtech Con and Dtech Group will continue to do this. Adapt to changing roles in healthcare, extremely important. Everybody who stays stubborn becomes redundant. So as technology moves ahead, we shall learn to adapt and adopt and continue to be relevant and exist ahead too, and stay updated on the progress. With that, let me stop sharing and hand it back to the chairpersons for taking us ahead for the true action coming up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Manoj, that was quite good. And I'm very impressed that, AI ends up learning and, improvising and evolving. Much unlike, a category of people called husbands. Anyway, to keep your job safe from AI, use AI to do your job better. I think we can all safely go by that dictum. And moving on with this evening's webinar, let's invite Dr. Amit Gupta for navigating us through ChatGPT. But let me not let him get away without an introduction. So Dr. Amit Gupta is a senior diabetologist from New Delhi, and he's the director for Center for Diabetes Care at Greater Noida, adjunct professor, Department of Medicine at KMC Manipal. He's also the chair-elect of the American Diabetes Association Public Health and Epidemiology Interest Group. He is the member of the International Advisory Committee of ADA. He's also the Joint Secretary of Diabetes India Executive Committee, member of the RSSDI, and also Regional Council member of IDF Southeast Asia. Well, I could go on and on with all the positions that Amit holds, but a warm welcome to you, and let's get started with what we are here for. And we don't have just two, we have many experts today in this webinar, and we have three amazing talks still left. So hang in there.
Thank you, Dr. Purvi ma'am, for the kind introduction, and thank you, Dr. Manoj Chawla sir, for setting up the scene and informing our delegates and all the participants that what AI is all about. And I know we are talking about AI for very long now, and many of the people, they are already using ChatGPT and different type of large language models also, like Meta AI. And AI is now becoming part of our life, and many of the applications which we know, which we use knowingly or unknowingly, have some component of this augmented intelligence or the artificial intelligence embedded in it. So with this, I would like to ask all of you that if you are on a system where you can get access to the ChatGPT, you can please log in to your ChatGPT account, because I will be taking, I'm not showing any slides. I will be taking you to the live demo of some of the ChatGPT applications, which can make your task easier. So it is just an example that the things you can do can be multiple. It can be n number of things you can do, but certainly we can do. Yeah.
Sorry to intervene. I don't know if it's just me, but your voice is a bit soft. If you can just speak louder or increase the volume, I think that will be even better.
Is it okay now?
Better, yes.
Better? So I hope you are able to listen to me. Or you can give me just a minute. Let me put my headphones on.
Okay, sure. Meanwhile, we have Dr. Banshi Sabu, who's our founding president of Dtech. Welcome, sir. And Dr. Bharat Sabu, who is going to also navigate us through the different LLMs, the latter half of the webinar. Thank you, Dr. Bharat.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, am I audible now? Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is that I'm not having any slides today, and I will be using the live demo of some of the applications of ChatGPT. And I know there can be different levels of ChatGPT users. For example, Bharat is a highly skilled, so you can say if you are playing a video game, so he may be at the top level of the playing of that video game like ChatGPT. Dr. Manoj Chawla and me can be a moderate one.
Amit, can I ask something? Yeah. So then this is a question to you and to Bharat. So, I saw that you all were asking people who are not using it to download ChatGPT for today's webinar.
Yes.
So which one? I mean, the standard one, the paid one, what do you recommend?
The free one.
The free one?
So
Yes.
right now you can download the free one, and once you can try that how it works. If you have never tried it, it is very easy to use and there is no problem.
No, I'm using the free one only. I understand that paying is always a problem.
Wonderfully well. It works wonderfully well.
Yeah, it will give me restrictions after 4 answers. It will start behaving like your wife and not answer, but that is okay for the day. It's good enough.
But sir, you can tolerate it for 4
coming.
Tolerate it for 4 answers only.
So Manoj sir, for that information, I am using a paid version of the ChatGPT, and you can see that it is a paid version of the ChatGPT which is here. And the beauty of the ChatGPT is that ask ChatGPT how to use ChatGPT. So that how to use ChatGPT. If you have
Amit, the volume is discontinuous.
volume, ma'am, I don't know what is happening.
You're
I'm
losing
connected.
some network in between, maybe a little poor net connection, so we are losing your voice
Yes.
intermittently.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me share my screen, and this is the ChatGPT 4.0 you are using, and you can see there are multiple versions which you will be able to see in a paid version, and you will not be able to see in the free version. And so the most advanced version is the great GPT 4.0, and there are multiple advanced reasoning can also be done by O1. And you can see these are the multiple uh, things which I own created my own GPTs, which I may use often for some work or some other tasks. And Dr. Rakesh Parikh will be taking you through all these things that how to make your own ChatGPT. The first application of the ChatGPT which I want to talk to you is that it is most of the time we get our patients and we are taking history of our patients, and it is difficult to collate all the history and then type it and get it done in a beautiful way. So one of the tasks which you can ask ChatGPT is to, first thing is that you need to tell that ChatGPT what you are supposed to do. So I am writing a prompt in the ChatGPT that I want you to act as a act to summarize the patient history standard format and write in a paragraph. Write in a paragraph. So this is a prompt. It can be, you can ask the ChatGPT what could be the exact prompt. So ChatGPT will even tell you that. So the spelling mistakes, it doesn't matter. So here the ChatGPT is telling you that please provide the patient history details. I will summarize it in a structured paragraph suitable for the EMR documentation. So if you have any specific formatting preferences, you can tell the ChatGPT. So here what you are going to do, you are simply telling the person that 52-year male, DM for diabetes, for you can say 10 years, history of DM and parents, and you are typing. Then you are also typing that own metformin and dapagliflozin, and you simply say doses you can write 10 milligram OD, and then you say smoker, never, no physical activity, don't go by the spelling. It will say complaining of fatigue and weakness. So you simply write this, and then ChatGPT is going to give you a structured version which you can simply copy and paste in your EMR. And based on the amount of information, you can always adjust it. For example, a 52-year-old male, now it is a history of type 2 diabetes for over 10 years, complaints of fatigue and weakness, family history of diabetes in parents, currently on metformin and dapagliflozin, smoker, leads a sedentary lifestyle with no regular physical activity, no additional comorbidity or complications were reported. So you have given only few keywords, and it has constructed the entire history, which can be now copy and pasted in your EMR system if you are using an electronic EMR. At the same time, if you want to add some more information, you can simply say add history of chest pain and CAG 6 months before. So it will simply give you that information also, and now it is adding that information to your previous file. You can say that within few minutes, it has already included that he also has a history of chest pain and underwent CAG 6 months ago. So automatically the abbreviation is there and everything is there. So this is just an example that how you can use ChatGPT, the free version, in your day-to-day. Where when you are speaking to your patient, you are taking notes, and simply type your notes into the ChatGPT. The ChatGPT will give you a constructed history, which you can easily copy and paste in your system. So this is one of the uses of ChatGPT which is there. Another common challenge which we face in our clinical practice is that many of the times the patient will not be bringing their logbooks. If they bring their logbook, it will be something like that. I will be uploading one of the logbook which I have taken from the Google, and it is an open source thing. So here I have uploaded a picture, and I am giving a prompt please, you don't need to say please, but we are polite, so often we do end up saying that. Read the image and give glucose readings in the form of a table. So you're given this prompt. The image is uploaded. Let us wait for some time. So first, if the image is not good quality, it is saying that we try to enhance the readability by pre-processing and page was not probably. So you can say fasting sugar 120, ppbs 145. I'm just on 54 on 21st January, and you have 158 fasting and 350 ppbs on January 30th. So it will simply so if you have an image, then I think the internet is having a just give me. So whatever the data you give, it can simply turn it into the form of a table. So whenever a patient is bringing a chart to you, you can simply upload the picture. Now the picture was of not good quality because I took it from the internet. So it will come in the form of a table. And if you want to plot a graph and trends, though these are only few values, but it can do that also. Dr. Rakesh, please feel free for inputs because it is the work.
Yeah, Amit, so
Anything?
yes, there are some
yes.
also.
Yes.
Maybe you're doing like these same things can be done in a better way by using custom GPT,
Yes.
as you already said.
Yeah, so custom GPT will be telling. So here simply readings are represented by the yellow line. The two PPV readings are represented by a red line, and you can simply say, see the trends and the date has also been represented. So you can convert data into a more meaningful data. At the same time, another important thing is that many of the times you are very busy. Sometimes you may upload a report and you may not be able to see all the data. So you can simply upload a report from one of your patients. For example, this is one of the report of a patient, and I have taken his consent. I am uploading this report, and I'm giving a prompt that analyze the report. So analyze the report and give important findings.
Very interesting piece of information being shared. Thank you, Amit. To all our audience, you can ask questions on the webinar page itself. There's a box below. Do type in your questions and send us. Our experts will be definitely addressing those as we receive them.
So, Amit, if I can ask a question, and I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Right. So, how different is it from a search engine like Google? I may ask the same question on Google Chrome about certain answers. How different would be the answer to a lot of questions or queries you put in?
Right, sir. So right now we are not we are GPT.
I mean,
for example,
you want to put your video off for a bit because your voice is cracking.
Let me do that. Is it better now?
Yes.
So I will keep my video off. So Dr. Manoj sir, you just asked that we are not reading some data. It is still not.
Amit, your voice is still not there, so let me answer it for you. Is it okay, Manoj?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So see,
Yes,
Google is just a search engine. you put some keywords there, it will give you results based on the keywords. ChatGPT, unlike Google, is actually creating a content for you. So Google, you cannot ask Google to find the abnormal values from the report that Amit has shown just now, or you can't ask Google to create a graph from the readings. You can't ask Google to convert some images into a Word document or a digital format. So all these things are not possible on Google. ChatGPT will give you very specific answers and detailed answers of the subject that you're asking for. For example, if you ask ChatGPT that I'm going to Amsterdam for ETTD, give me places to visit, it will give you tens of blogs. On each blog, there will be 20 places to visit in Amsterdam or 10 places to visit in Amsterdam and so on. And then it will sell more of the products, tickets for the events and so on. But to ChatGPT, if you give a proper prompt, suppose you tell the ChatGPT, like, Amit, I'm just adding here. So prompting is more important here. If you give a right prompt to ChatGPT, the first thing is that you tell ChatGPT to take a role. You tell it that take the role of a travel planner. Give me an itinerary for Amsterdam for 5 days. My budget is so and so, and I want to, and then tell about you that I am a person who visits, say, historical monuments or wants to go to pubs or this, whatever you like to. Accordingly, it will make an itinerary for you and tell you exactly what items, what places you can visit, how much it will cost you, and it will be through your budget. That can't be done with Google.
Perfect. So I think that's a great answer. But what is happening now, and I think Bharat wants to add in. What I wanted to add in is that today, when you ask this to Google or you put this question on Chrome, for most AI Gemini starts answering the same way as your ChatGPT does. So you will get that. I understand that for today, these solutions, it depends a lot on how much you're prompting. And if you've not prompted, it asks you back to specify certain things. You put in that and it gives you an answer.
Yeah,
But
so again,
that's automatically happening with Gemini also.
So Gemini is just ChatGPT. We are just
exactly. Yeah. So okay, Bharat, yeah.
So,
So basic
may I add something?
difference is actually Google is a search engine which searches for keywords. And ChatGPT is a chatbot which is generated with the help of these language models. So it fetches the language what you are talking and it responds to the language. It is not crude as a keyword search engine, but it responds to the language because it knows that suppose you are going to Amsterdam, then you are going to do something. So it will prompt you something. It will ask you that whether you like to create an itinerary for me, you or something like that. And then it will store the responses just like Google does. But it will store the responses, not the keywords. While Google search will store only the keywords, and it will not be storing the emotions or activities which are associated with those keywords. And that is what makes the difference. And you are very right. Now Google gives two outputs, one based on Gemini and one the crude, which was previously which we are used to. The same way Monica is there, different female names are there. I don't know why they are only female names.
I think we should have Bharat as the AI tool. So Rakesh, whatever AI tool that you are developing from Dtech Group, it will be called Bharat. Ask Bharat.
It will be Bharat.
Yeah, Bharat. Okay. Okay.
Amit sir, sorry, I interrupted you. You were about
No.
Amit,
Bharat,
is the connection better? Then please carry on.
am I audible now?
Yes. Better.
You may hear some songs also because I'm in a busy environment right now and some marriage happening adjacent to my home. So
Even
please don't mind
better.
if you... Right. So what I was saying is that as both Dr. Rakesh as well as Dr. Bharat has explained, that there is something called you are raising a query and the Google replies back, and it uses artificial intelligence to make it better and to suit your what exactly keyword you have given. At the same time, what ChatGPT or any large language model is done, it is having different types of information which is there, and it is pulling those information from all the resources which it has access to or on which it has already been fed upon. For example, here I have uploaded a 30-page report which we often see, and sometime when we are taking a look at the report, you will find that you will miss some of the findings. So just like any other thing, it has summarized the report. So it has picked up that it has a high CRP, iron deficiency is there. You can see low vitamin D level, vitamin B12 levels. It has picked up that it has summarized for you. uric acid is raised, cystatin C is raised, HDL cholesterol is low. So complete hemogram it has analyzed, and normal finding it has mentioned that HbA1c is normal, eGFR is fine, liver function tests are within normal limits. So before analyzing the report, you get a fair idea that what is happening to this report. So today, because let me share a secret with you also. I asked ChatGPT that if I want to conduct a workshop on ChatGPT uses for care of diabetes, it's gave me a chart mentioning almost 60 minutes. But we have only 15 minutes here to discuss it. So 3 real examples where you can use ChatGPT for the history management. You can use ChatGPT for the analysis of the data, and you can use the ChatGPT for the analysis of the report. Before I conclude and hand it over to Rakesh, because there are multiple applications, I will simply show you that how can you analyze a paper. For example, I will just take this example. Just today, one of a very beautiful paper being published, and this paper is on type 1 diabetes from the type 1 group. Dr. Rakesh Parekh has written along with Dr. Bansi Sabu, Dr. Purvi, Dr. Manoj, all of us are co-authors of this paper, and Dr. Apurva has written this paper. So if I simply write that analyze the paper and give key findings. So unfortunately, I ended up attaching a report. So the report is being analyzed. Give me just time, just a minute to search for the paper, which is there. Rakesh, can you send me the file of the paper? I just
Amit, I can send on WhatsApp. I'm sending you.
Yes, yes. No, I already downloaded it. I'm seeing that.
Maybe you can show some other paper.
So yeah, this is the paper.
Got it?
So this is the type 1 paper, and we are uploading this paper. Just wait for a second.
Write the prompt.
I will just copy the prompt and give it to. Meanwhile, you can enjoy the Bollywood song which is being played behind. I think the network is today is a challenge. So you can see I simply uploaded the file. This paper is being written, and it is giving the key findings. Rakesh is the prime principal author along with Dr. Bansi and Dr. Apurva. So Rakesh, has the ChatGPT analyzed this paper in a correct way? So I seek your feedback.
Let me see. Yeah, it is so far so good. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and again, yeah. So we can even ask the ChatGPT to look for a specific aspect of the paper also. Like, if you want only results from that also it will show. So that way we can, take the help of this for reading the papers, right?
So here you are able to look into the different parts of the paper. And if you want a detailed analysis of a particular part, you can go to that part also. So sometimes because so many publications are happening, you may not get time to read each and every paper. So if some paper you only just want to understand that what is being there, so you can simply upload this paper into the ChatGPT, and the ChatGPT will give you all the details. And for example, it has now it is giving you a prompt that would you like a detailed summary for a presentation or the policy advocacy. So if you ask ChatGPT that make a PPT, then it will simply give you pointers for the PPT based on this paper. It will simply give you that points that what is happening, and it is taking time because it is a large file. So then it will restructure it. So Dr. Rakesh, I think these are the very important and practical uses of the ChatGPT, which doesn't require too much and doesn't require even a paid version also. and we can use it in our daily life while in our clinical practice, while seeing at the patients, and while updating our knowledge as well. I think it is taking time, but already I have overshot my time. So I will request Dr. Purvi Chawla, and I will stop sharing the screen here. And Dr. Rakesh will be showing you the custom GPT part. So over to you, Dr. Purvi. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amit, for that wonderfully lucid, navigation into Chat GPT. I think even I feel a lot more comfortable with it. I hope it was really useful to all our audiences that have logged in today. And hang in there. We have two wonderful sessions coming up. This is your chance to get some practical learning, get that done. And this is the era of moving on with AI and taming it so that we get the better of it and it doesn't get the better of us. So with that, I welcome Dr. Rakesh Parikh, who's a senior diabetologist from Jaipur. And he's also going to be hosting the next Dtech Con along with the other members, the founding members of Dtech. He's going to be hosting that in Jaipur this year. He is the fellow of American College of Endocrinology, Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons, Glasgow, and College of Physicians and Surgeons of Bombay, and RSSDI as well. He's a National Executive Committee member of RSSDI, also the founder of Metabolic Society Jaipur, and co-founder of Dtech, the very platform that we are so lucky to be using. Without much ado, he's going to help us create that custom or, customize the GPT to our advantage. It's all yours, Rakesh. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Purvi. Am I audible? And is my screen visible?
The volume, I don't know. It's probably low that I think.
I'll try to speak a little louder. Thanks to Manoj and Amit for setting the stage. And thank you, Purvi, for arranging this webinar. Also, thanks to USV because they have invited a lot of doctors who were keen to learn ChatGPT. And probably this is the right platform that we have created for them. So today in this webinar, we are trying to keep it very simple so that a person who either never used ChatGPT or who installed ChatGPT but did not, like it because he might just like Manoj said, what is the difference between ChatGPT and Chrome? So if you don't know how to use it, you may not like it. And the job today myself and Amit are doing, and again that Bharat, is to create interest among the doctors so that they can start using these tools optimally. Now the question that Manoj had asked earlier was regarding the free and paid plans of ChatGPT. So I'm just opening, my screen is visible. Again, I don't have any slides, just like Amit will show you only live demo of how to use ChatGPT. So this is the website of ChatGPT, and there are 3 different plans. The free plan is the one that we recommend for everybody because it does the job that is needed by 99.9% of us. Most of us do not require ChatGPT for a lot of purposes. So free plan is enough for us. Plus plan is only for the people who use it very frequently. So the features are same, but just like Manoj said, in free plan, there are limitations. You can use it for a limited period of time or limited period of usage. After that, it will say that your usage for the day is over. You can again use it in the next day. And then there is a pro plan also, which is only for the enterprises where they have a team of people where they want to work together. That's very costly. Now, coming back to the topic that was given to me, which is custom GPT. So what Amit has told you is about the general chat GPT. Again, if Manoj is there, he can ask me what is the difference between custom GPT and chat GPT. That's why I just want to make it clear that in our language, which is understandable to doctors, chat GPT is like a general practitioner. So it will treat malaria, it will treat tuberculosis, it will treat CAD, it will treat diabetes, everything. But if you want a specialist who is trained to do a particular job, then you can create the custom GPTs. For creating custom GPTs, you need to have a paid plan. But for using custom GPTs, you don't require a paid plan. So there are hundreds of or thousands of custom GPTs which are already created and they can be searched. You can find the GPT, chat GPT that is suitable for your requirement and then use it. So before we go to that, let me again re-emphasize, which was already told to you by Amit, that the most important thing when you start using ChatGPT is prompting. If you do the prompting correctly, prompting means what you give as an input to the model. That is prompting. And if you frame it correctly, then you get a better answer. Moreover, ChatGPT learns from you. So if I start talking about Dtech on ChatGPT repeatedly, after a few conversations, it will already know about DistrictCon, that it is being planned in Jaipur. It will know the dates, it will know the organizers, everything. So I just need to say that I want to shoot a mail, write a mail for me, and it will do it immediately. I'll show you the examples also. Now, coming back to custom GPT, what is custom GPT? As I told you already, you can create a specialized GPT, which is specialized to do a particular task. Like, for example, my daughter is in 8th standard. I want a teacher for her who can teach her science for the 8th standard student, which is easily understandable to that student, which is covering the syllabus which is given to the student. So for that purpose, I created a custom GPT, which is there in my custom GPTs. I'll show you that also. Then you can create a custom GPT for your own clinic assistant, a person who is sitting outside your clinic at the front desk, or maybe an educator. If you want to make his job easy, you can make a clinic assistant GPT also. You can create a chat GPT assistant or a custom chat GPT for your research related tasks. Suppose you review articles regularly or you write papers regularly, you might want the chat GPT's help just to look at the content that is given in the article. You want to cross check the links or the references which are given. All these tasks can be done by the custom chat GPT. In addition to custom chat GPT, there is another option that is called as GPT assistant. And the difference is very simple. Custom GPT is the one that you have to use only in the chat GPT frame. So you use this here only. You can't take it outside. Suppose you want a bot for your website, custom GPT will not be useful because custom GPT can be used only on the GPT platform. But you can also create a chat GPT bot for your own website or for your own app. And for that, you have to use a GPT assistant. And that GPT assistant requires some coding and also requires the APIs from ChatGPT, also requires servers. So we'll not go into that. That is not for us, it is probably for the coders and the developers. What is useful for us as a doctors is the custom GPT. So how do you access the custom GPTs? I hope some of you must have already installed the ChatGPT app. Some of you might be using it on the browser and must have logged in. So even in the free account, you will see option here which shows Explore GPTs. So if you click here on Explore GPTs, it will show you a list of all the custom GPTs which are prepared by different people and which are publicly available. So for example, as Amit was showing you, you can create even a PowerPoint using ChatGPT, but the regular ChatGPT only gives you the outline of PowerPoint. It will not give you the slides. But there is a custom GPT which is designed by somebody. There are multiple custom GPTs which can even make the PPTs. So I'll show you some of those. Like if you type here PPT and just search for PPT, it will give you the options which are available. This is the PPT generator. So it's a custom GPT which has been created by somebody and you can use it. Now, what will this do? This will actually create the PPT for you. It may not be of a good quality, but it will create PPT for you and you can download it. So suppose I'll just give you one prompt here, create a PPT on maturity onset diabetes in young to be presented to an audience. As I said, prompting should be proper, which is spellings might be wrong, mostly general practitioners. So with this prompt, the custom GPT that I'm showing you, it will start creating the PPT and it will first give you the outline. If you agree with the outline, then it will create the PPT for you and it will allow you to download that PPT also. So like this, it runs and then at the end, it gives you option to download that PPT. I'll try to just give a glimpse and run a little fast because otherwise I'll not be able to cover most of the things. So here the PPT slide is prepared, the cover slide is prepared. I click here and I can download that cover slide from here. This is the slide that ChatGPT has prepared for me and it will open. This is the cover slide that I just prepared. So same way you can prepare the other slides also. So anyways, now I'll show you some other examples. Now, just like this, you can look for a ChatGPT or a custom GPT for your own task. Suppose you want it to help you with the dietary advice for a patient, a customized diet chart. So look for diet or nutrition, and you'll have some custom GPTs which are created already. So these are for cooking, these are for diet plan creator. This is a custom GPT diet plan creator. Click here, start using it. It will ask you some input and it will create a diet chart for you. Now, this was how to search for a custom GPT, which is created by somebody, and how to use it. So whatever wild things you might think of use of ChatGPT, you just put in the search bar. You might get some custom GPT which is already created, and start using it. Now, if you want to create your own custom GPT, then there is an option here. You click on here, which is create custom GPT. Once you go on this, then it has got two sections. One section is for configuring your chat GPT, the custom GPT. So suppose I want to create a custom GPT for a particular task. Say I want to create it for taking the role of a nutritionist. So I'll just write nutritionist. And I don't need to code anything. It understands what I'm asking for. It will update. It will give me options. It will give me a profile picture. Now at this stage, if you want to use a particular reference, suppose you want to use only the recipes from a particular book, which is an Indian book in Hindi, you can put that here, upload it here, and it will refer to that only. You can customize here the custom GPT, how it interacts with the users, how it should respond to users, and so on. So this is how you can create your own custom GPT, and then you can publish it. For publishing it in the public domain, there are certain conditions. So you cannot create a doctor. ChatGPT can act as a doctor. It knows everything. It can give you a treatment for a diabetic patient also, but to make it public is not legal, and that is why it will not allow you to make it public. But simple things which are in its terms and conditions can be made public. The custom GPTs that we showed earlier, those were all publicly available. Now I'll show you some of my custom GPTs. So if I click here, my chat GPT, these are the GPTs that I created. So this one is for reviewing the journal. So if I get an article for review, I will ask it for reviewing it first, and then I'll go to the article so that I get some idea before accepting the paper for the review also. This is what I created for my daughter's science lectures. This is for bedside clinic assistant. This is the Dtech nutritionist that I this one has been trained to behave in a particular way. So it will not give you the lengthy answers. If I ask it or start interacting it with, it will just give me 5-6 questions, which are standard questions, which are set by us or configured by me. And then, so it will ask me, what is my medical condition? What is my weight? What is my height? What are my preferences of cuisine? Which language do I want the diet chart in? And so on. So this is asking me for my weight, height, and age. So that for that also, I don't need to mention everything in kilograms and years. I just need to mention the number. So like this, it's asking me age 45, weight 90, height 176. I'll just enter that much. It will calculate my BMI. Then it will ask me what medical conditions do I have. If I don't have any, I'll just say none and go on. So after that, it'll ask me my cuisine preferences, whether I want to go a vegetarian diet or non-veg diet, a North Indian, a South Indian. Do I want the diet chart in Hindi or Gujarati or English or whatever language, and it will prepare that. So this has been customized to behave in a particular way, and that's how it is doing. Another one that I'll show you, which might be of interest for many of the doctors here, is the physician assistant. Let me see. I'll just take another 2 minutes, Puri, because this is the last custom chip that I'll show you. This is the diabetes clinic assistant. So again, this has been configured to answer a few of the common questions that the assistant might have. So it has got only 7 options. If I start interacting, it will give me 7 options here. So the first one is medical dictionary. Suppose you come across a patient who has come from an oncologist having some fancy diagnosis which you don't understand, and it asks you, "Doctor, ये बीमारी क्या है?" You just put on the term here. It will give you all the details about that term. If you want to calculate the patient's, the child's target height, if you want to calculate the FIF4 score, or you want to, take the help of ChatGPT for diagnosing a patient, you just choose the option here. So, for example, I'll use the calculators. I'll just type 2 here. Now, once I type 2, it will give me different calculators which are available. 1 minute. I think again, yeah, okay. So once I type 2, it will give me different calculators that it already has. And then I can choose the calculator that I want to. So somehow there's a network problem here. anyways. Calculators. So these are the calculators which are available for BMI, for EGFR, for FIB-4 score, for target height and ASCVD score, and so on. Suppose I want to check the FIB-4 score of a patient. I'll just write 5, which is FIB-4 score. Now it will only ask me OT, PT, platelets, and age. And I put those, and then it will give me the FIB-4 score. So this is how you can customize the ChatGPT that you need for your own routine work. This can also give you diet chart and so on. So this was one example of custom ChatGPT. I think more than that we'll discuss in the question answer probably. It was just to give you answer that you can create the custom GPTs as per your requirements. But for that, you require a pro account. If you don't have a pro account, search for custom GPTs. There must be a custom GPT prepared which suits your requirement already there. Thank you, Purvi.
Thank you, Rakesh. This was very, very enlightening. If I can, just really request you to kind of go through the basic just one more time. I think that will be helpful because this is a live workshop.
By basic,
just
you mean
in a minute or two,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. So this is the routine chat GPT.
And go a bit slow because we have a variety of audience. It may help a few to just pick up the, things that you say. And if you can speak louder as well.
Yeah. So to summarize, once you log into your ChatGPT account, which is free of cost, you will see a window like this. You can use it for routine job by prompting it correctly, as Amit has already shown you. If you want it to do a particular task by a specialist GPT, that is called as custom GPT. There are thousands of custom GPTs which are already available. You click on Explore GPTs. Once you click here, you will get a search bar here. And on this search bar, you can put a keyword that you want to look for. And it will give you the PPTs which are already created by somebody else. You can start using those like this one. This one is by a member who is attending this webinar right now, Dr. Harsh. He sent me this custom GPT created by him just in the evening. So he has created a chat GPT to analyze CGM. This is a specialized custom GPT created by Dr. Harsh. He must be in the audience itself here. Similarly, you can search for any other custom GPT that you want. And in case you want to create your own custom GPT, then you need to have a pro account. Click on Create Custom GPT and it gives you two different windows. On this window, you interact with GPT and tell it how do you want to configure it. You tell here that how you want this custom GPT to behave with its users. You can tell it that don't give lengthy answers, only give 4 questions, take the answer of the first question, analyze it, and then answer. Like that, you can program it as you want. Okay, Purvi?
Great.
And Rakesh, by the time the ChatGPT has created PPT for your paper, and I have WhatsApped it to you, so you can show that also.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing.
Thanks.
I think we all are going to use that.
Yeah. Okay, let's move to Bharat now. Purvi.
Excellent. So we move on and let me introduce our next expert who is a very multifaceted senior diabetologist from Indore. And he's a director at Prayas Diabetes Center, Indore, and also an Amazon best-selling author. Congratulations. He's been trained in data science for precision medicine at Edinburgh University, also completed the SCOPE certification for obesity management and advanced courses by the ADA as well as European Society of Endocrinology. He's currently still pursuing with IIT Roorkee a course in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Importantly, he's chair of the Diabetes India Primary Care Interest Group, National Task Force member of the RSSDI, National Advisory Council member of the ACP, and National Executive Council member of also ARO, which is All India Association for Advancing Research in Obesity. I really could go on and on. He's authored many books, won several awards, is well published. So without much ado to, talk to us about the different LLMs that exist beyond ChatGPT. Take it away. It's yours.
Thank you, Puri ma'am, for the kind introduction. And first of all, thanks Dtech for inviting me here. Also, thanks to Manoj sir, Amit bhai and Rakesh bhai for setting up this so well. The job which has been assigned to me is little tricky to be done in time, but I will try my level best to do it, because I'm given a task to leverage other LLMs apart from ChatGPT, because these large language models are really the dynamite behind the AI boom, which is specifically of the generative AI. We talk mostly about the generative AI aspect of the AI, and this is actually what has changed the whole dogma. And this was the first paper which brought these LLMs into account. It was published in 2014. And then this came in 2017, the paper named Attention is All You Need. And this is a very beautiful read, how people realized that these large language models, these were people from Google, obviously, along with a person from University of Toronto. It is hardly to see an Indian right out there at front seat in this paper also. And this was the paper which paved the way for LLM, which were large language models. So what are LLMs? First of all, these are AI models which are trained on massive data sets. So these are trained models which are trained on data set of text codes, and they are capable of understanding, generating, and translating human languages into the machine languages. They actually have capabilities such as text generation, translation, summarization of facts, just like Amit sir was telling us, question answering, just like Rakesh sir was giving us, and code generation. And beyond ChatGPT, because this presentation I have kept beyond ChatGPT, so I will be talking about much lesser known LLMs with unique architectures and where we can leverage them. But yes, ChatGPT would be remaining our comparator for the same. Just 1 minute for a differentiation between ChatGPT 4 and ChatGPT 4o, because this is really a question mark in minds of people. What is ChatGPT 4? It has a deep contextual understanding. What has 4o? 4o is very fast and efficient. So when we talk about use case based comparison, when we do coding tasks, ChatGPT 4 is suitable because it has deep understanding and long form interaction. And GPT-4o is for those coding tasks which needs speed and efficiency. So in the end, if we want to see the comparison, ChatGPT-4 can handle images, but it's slower in processing. 4o specializes in multimodal capabilities and can interpret image faster. So 4o is faster than 4, and this is a basic comparison. While 4 is available for creating tailored model, 4o is not available for free user to generate custom GPT, just like Rakesh sir was telling you. So in conclusion, 4o is the option for user who need in-depth conversation. When you want to go deep inside, go for ChatGPT 4. 4o is for normal person like us. It excels in speed, image recognition, multimodal tasks, and ideal for users who want quick, reliable result, particularly in day-to-day situation. So 4o is a go-getter for us. The next model is Perplexity. Perplexity is a model which is there, and it is a NLP model which analyze and understand text data. Text is analyzed and developed. So it generates language. It analyzes the sentiments, it classifies the text, and these are the things which are done by Perplexity. Now, Perplexity cannot replace traditional search engines because it is having also some limitation, but it is quite effective. And the key features are language generation. The second key feature is sentiment analysis, and third is text classification. That is why it can access concise information. So it is suitable for those places where we need to carry on in-depth research, just like writing research paper, where we want to create and edit code, where we want to solve complex mathematical problems, also with the steps involved. So Perplexity comes into play. To summarize PDF, it does much better than ChatGPT, although ChatGPT is much faster, as I have told you, but it does actually much better than ChatGPT if we use Perplexity to translate files and to organize your library. How it is compared to ChatGPT? Because ChatGPT would be remaining our actually lighthouse for comparison. So it provides more details than ChatGPT. It is suitable for academic researchers. So if you have a stint for academic research, go and use Perplexity. It will give you far better result than ChatGPT, because ChatGPT, when I try to use, it gives multiple fake authors, fake papers, fake references, which Perplexity doesn't do. But ChatGPT is very important because it is jack of all trades. So it does all the tasks. That is why you need to have ChatGPT as well. ChatGPT is more conversational. Perplexity is like a college professor. It teaches you in a very, very bland tone. It doesn't have any humor associated with it, but it gives you very factual results. Cloud A3. Cloud A3 is another LLM model. Not much to compare, but actually Cloud A is useful for large enterprises. It is not for common user. Common users seldom use it. And it is not better than ChatGPT if you want to use it for common things. Then Llama 3 from Meta. Llama 3 from Meta is what we are commonly using now. Meta is coming and it has come up with its own AI. It be integrated into WhatsApp also. So it has 70B reasoning as compared to 1.7T of ChatGPT 4. The output is text with Llama. Now Apple is coming with visual as well. Accessibility is limited while ChatGPT is available globally because Apple Intelligence is not available globally. I still need to change my language to American English to access the Apple Intelligence. And the coding focus is potentially stronger with Llama. Google Gemini, because we talk about so many times about Gemini. So Gemini is an AI-powered chatbot tool, just like ChatGPT, designed by Google. And we were having Manoj sir and I was having a chat about it. So it is aiming to allow for a more natural language query rather than keyword, which I was telling you, because Google search engine gives you the keyword answers for searches, while Gemini, what it does, it actually gives a output which is more like language which is spoken. So it gives a response rather than just the search outcome. So how it works on a Palm 2, which is Pathways Language Model 2. This is all theoretical, nothing of much significance. We just need to know the limitations. Limitations are Gemini must learn and to be trained to give the correct answer, just like any model. These are like pets. You need to actually train them to get output because it can sometimes give inaccurate or misleading information. Now, again, what are the key features? It can integrate with Google ecosystem. This is the biggest feature, I tell you, because most of the people are using Google ecosystem, let it be Android or any other device we use. Apart from Apple, there is a Google ecosystem. It enhances security and privacy. It gives a personalized user experience and a real-time data access. Now, one more thing comes into the mind. Google BERT. BERT is there and Google Bard are there. Google is really revolutionary in terms of AI. What is the difference between BERT and Bard? BERT is a pre-trained language model and Bard is a pre-trained auto-regressive dialogue model. So the difference is the purpose of BERT is to understand the context of the text input, to understand. And Bard gives responses. So BERT takes responses, Bard gives responses. This is as simple as it can be. Now, when we want to see the difference between ChatGPT, Gemini, and the third symbol is of Copilot, which is from Microsoft. This is a LLM from Microsoft. Now, Copilot actually is by Microsoft. That is why it is very useful because it integrates into MS Word, PowerPoint, MS Office, and Windows itself. So this is there. ChatGPT we all have heard so many times. Gemini is from Google. These are the three things which are there. And this is a head-to-head comparison. Now, when we see comparison one-to-one, ChatGPT, we all know, is known for fluent and coherent responses. Gemini has multimodal capacity, an added ability to integrate with Google ecosystem. And Copilot has a natural language processing which shines in specific context where Windows is good at, Copilot is good at that point. So accuracy, ChatGPT can definitely give inaccurate and outdated information. Mind it, it can be erroneous at many times. Gemini is very, very factually correct most of the times. Copilot is actually specifically accurate. It is accurate where it has data, but it is inaccurate where it lacks data. So you need to be cautious. ChatGPT is jack of all trades. Copilot is very focused in its application. As I told you, ChatGPT is available through a web interface, and Rakesh sir was telling us about the API. Gemini is expected to integrate seamlessly with Google Suite. All the Google applications are integrated. Copilot, in the same manner, is integrated with Microsoft Office. Now, customization. ChatGPT offers some customization. Copilot offers a high degree of customization because it is from the house of Windows, so it can give you a more option to customize. There are ethical considerations and bias with all these systems. Nothing is hidden from you. Performance and speed, if we talk, everyone is good. The performance and response times are equal, almost equal for normal users. Learning and improvement is definitely there with all these models. They are learning and they are gradually improving on themselves, and only time will tell who will win. The cost, it is nothing to do for us. We all are happy with the free model unless we are a heavy user. Everything has a free as well as paid version. It is up to you where we want to subscribe. They all have future potential. Now, the healthcare, where they hold a place in healthcare. ChatGPT, it can assist with patient education, as Rakesh sir was telling us, medical research summaries, and even preliminary symptom analysis. These are the three things where ChatGPT is very good as a LLM. Gemini, it can process visual information. So it can replace radiologists, just like what Eric Topol was telling us. And it could be groundbreaking for medical imaging analysis and diagnostic assistance. Copilot, on the other hand, may find applications in medical documentation and data analysis because it is integrated with Microsoft Office within the healthcare system. And that is how it can be beneficial. This is, if you want to take a snapshot, this is a basic difference between ChatGPT Plus, Copilot Pro, and Gemini Advanced, all the paid versions compared with service. The important thing to note is, even being a paid version, Copilot Pro has a limited multimodal capability. While accessibility is moderate for Copilot Pro, Gemini and ChatGPT Plus are highly accessible. This brings us to DeepSeek. This is actually the new kid in the block, and actually this is which is hurting us since past a week. So a Chinese AI company founded in 2023 by Liang Wangfang, and he is the man who is behind this low budget LLM. So the first AI model was released in 2023, but gained attention now with R1, the large language model. And it is as powerful as OpenAI's O1 in some areas. And this is what is disruptive. And you can see the Google searches, it has gone up like anything from last 4-5 days. But the big issue is censorship, because just like any other Chinese thing, this adbot censors answers on sensitive Chinese topics. It avoids giving details about the Tiananmen Square massacre, or even the Taiwan, or its relationship with USA. So it is actually a AI model to be looked for before putting all your information into it. Moving forward, when we see this is comparison between DeepSeek, R1, Llama, and ChatGPT. So if you want to have a go at it, you can take a snapshot, because DeepSeek R1 is open source, ChatGPT 4o is closed source. That is why DeepSeek R1 becomes more vulnerable, because it is an open source architecture. Right now it is free, which makes it even more tempting to use. And actually the ease of use is moderate. It requires expertise for setup and tuning. And it is highly customizable, not like ChatGPT 4o, which is as low customization. Now, what are the capabilities and applications of LLM? They can help us in clinical decision support. They can help us in administrative tasks, in patient engagement as well. What are the current challenges in healthcare? We are loomed with high cost, inefficiencies, data silos, and burnout, and it can be a solution to them. Because by expanding the LLM ecosystem, we can innovate, we can collaborate between researcher, developer, and healthcare provider. We can improve the healthcare efficiency, we can increase the accessibility, and these are there for the decision support system as well, because AI can enhance diagnosis, personalized treatment planning can be done, and smart medication management can be done. Improved diagnosis definitely is on the cards with the LLM integration, by being a faster diagnosis, being more accurate, and giving personalized care. For automating administrative tasks, it can actually improve the efficiency of systems by prior authorizations, billing, and scheduling. Tasks like this can be done by LLM, and it can streamline the prior authorization and billing process as well. It can enhance patient engagement in terms of education, communication, support, and feedback. These are the places where it can come really handy. It can give personalized care and virtual assistant as well. It can give data integration, AI-powered insights into various things, and create actionable plans. It can accelerate drug discovery also. And again, it can optimize the supply chain management. So these are the places where we can leverage these LLMs. It can also give forecasting demands, and it can streamline logistics. It can enhance medical imaging analysis by being better at detection, interpretation, and efficiency. And it can detect anomalies and support radiologists by being more accurate and fast. It can improve clinical documentation, which is a hurdle these days, by automation, accuracy, and efficiency. And it can reduce the burnout of healthcare workers, and it can enhance accuracy of them as well. But there are ethical considerations like privacy, security, and bias. We should ensure privacy, security, and bias. And by all these things, by data anonymization, security protocols, bias detection, we should formulate a regulatory landscape and compliance for this, and we should integrate LLMs into healthcare workflow system. The future outlooks and emerging trends are multimodal LLM, explainable AI, and federated learning. So the conclusion is it has a huge transformative potential, but it has got also challenges and opportunities in the form of ethical and technical challenges, where collaboration is the key between stakeholders and the implementers. So this will pave a way for a better AI in the future. With this, I thank you all for the patient listening. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you for introducing us to this very fascinating topic. I think this was much needed, this hand-holding, this just opening up the world of AI once again. I think this was really needed. So I thank all the speakers. But before that, I think Dr. Banshi, sir, we'd love you to switch on the video and come on the screen.
I'm sorry I joined through, panel discussion or all panelists along with panelists. I am in audience. I have registered as an audience also. And because I was joining through laptop, so I'm in through iPhone, so I joined as a panelist, but superb program. Extraordinary, I really enjoyed. And Amit and Rakesh has shown like a very practical workshop sort of things they have done. Manoj introduced very nicely, and Bharat had cleared many, concepts about the newer things like deep sea and all those things. Would like to have such more interactive online workshop, which will teach our audience more and more. Thanking USB for getting few more delegates, but I wish that, thousands of delegates should join online for this program. To know more about all these things, we would like to invite you, all of you, at Dtech Jaipur, and that will be a meeting where we will keep a dedicated workshop also on the same on AI. With this, thank you, Purvi, for nicely moderating, conducting this program, and you only designed this program, so really congratulations to you.
We are so excited. You always encourage us, and really thanks for that, sir. I think Dr. Banshi Sabu requires absolutely no introduction, but he is the founding president of Dtech and a visionary and definitely someone who leads from the front. So thank you, sir, for those wonderful words that you had for all our experts today. And, there's one question. Let me begin with that as we get oiled up. So can clinical decision support systems be done with AI? I'd like to hear from each of you.
So, Dr. Purvi, a lot of clinical decision support system in future, they are going to come and they will be able to analyze the data and give you a lot of... the power of artificial intelligence lies in analyzing that kind of data, the volume of that kind of data that is beyond the human capacity. So what we have done is, what we have learned is, for example, the use of retinopathy, which we are seeing. So nowadays, we know that a lot of people who are working in the space of the retinopathy, they are also working in the space of the cardiovascular disease. And what they are doing is that by just analyzing the retinal vessel, they are trying to correlate with the cardiovascular disease or the atherosclerosis, which is happening in the coronary arteries. And they are very close right now because there are multiple people who are working in this domain. And very soon we will not be using our fundus camera just for detecting the retinopathy, we will be using it for the analysis of the coronary artery disease. And people are trying to correlate it with the coronary artery calcium score as well. So this is the only site where you can visualize the vessels directly. So all these kind of models they are coming to will come true in future, and they will be based on artificial intelligence.
Puri, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, please.
So Bharat, Amit, I know we all spoke somewhere in our aspect about ethical considerations, and Bharat also ended with that. Honestly, what ethical considerations besides data privacy are we really talking about?
So data privacy is the biggest thing, first of all, because data anonymity is something which we should look for, which is not there. And you and me have seen how data has been mishandled by many of the providers, let it be providers of EMR or whatever they are. But data privacy is one of the biggest thing which we look for as far as ethical consideration is considered in India. Rest of the things actually will evolve with time, because ethics is something we gradually evolve over time, over and over again. Some factors are regional also, some are political also. We should not delve into that, because just like DeepSeek R1, if you see, it is restricted. It is having censorship at the word go. It should not be there with a model which we want to use for the healthcare. Because if we are looking for a model, we are specifically talking about healthcare here, because healthcare ethics involves something which is data sharing with data anonymity. And these two things should be there, because unless we learn the trend of the global data, we cannot plan ahead. Just like Amit sir was saying that if we can just have a look at the retina, we can see the heart. So this is the way the global trend regarding health and disorders and pandemics go. So these are the two things which we really look forward for ethical considerations in AI right now.
Didn't we have a sort of a guideline come up last week on the same?
Yes, we have, ma'am. We do have a guideline which has come up for the same. But guideline implementation in India is really an issue. Let us see how it works up.
I think webinars like this will definitely
Yes,
help
definitely.
sort of.
On that note, ma'am, it will only come from us. The people who create guidelines have created the guidelines. Now it is up to us to implement and look to it.
Let me fuel another question, Puri, if you allow.
Yes, please.
Recently on the chat group and other forums, you had a question asked about differences or similarity in a question asked on different AI generative tools. So your experiences, Bharat and Amit, if you ask a medically relevant question, now there has been a question doing rounds in today's times that really low LDL, is it actually safe or it's an harbinger of something else? Now, I'm just giving an example. Now, a question like that, if you put it on your different chat tools, how does the user know which one to trust and what answer is more validated?
Very, very good question, sir, because this is really an issue, and many patients are using these I call them advanced chatbot, because these models are ChatGPT and all these things are chatbot only. So they are using this chatbot to get all this filthy information which they previously used to get from Google and something like that. Right. The solution is we need to create, like Rakesh sir was saying, we need to create custom GPT which are authorized, which are actually authorized by somebody. Let it be any body which is considering people who are expert in that, and that if that gives the output, that is good. Regarding custom GPT, we can even give it a source, so it can give an answer from that source only. So that is the advantage when it is coming from that guideline paper or from that consensus guideline or something like that. So that is the only solution. Otherwise, it fetches all the information what is available in web, just like Google, and it is that refining and putting it on your face. So that is there. Amit sir, take on this.
Manoj sir, I would like to say here one thing is that ChatGPT is only as intelligent as a person using it. So if somebody wants to use ChatGPT for beyond his own knowledge and the capacity, then probably he is likely to fail. Because who is going to analyze that what information is provided by the ChatGPT is right or wrong? For example, if someone has to be knowledgeable enough to understand what ChatGPT is saying and what kind of data is coming. Again, it is again the responsibility of the human brain only to analyze that. So, because there is a disclaimer written below all the LLMs, all the ChatGPT, that the information provided by the ChatGPT can totally be wrong. So I think we cannot ignore that disclaimer, and we need to apply our brain. So I will request all the users that whenever you are doing anything, please cross-check and cross-check with your own knowledge and whatever you have learned, and always rely on the trusted resources like the textbooks, like the journals, and try to read them completely. Because just like Bharat said, we don't know at what layer of censorship these chat GPTs are or the different LLMs are using. They may be filtering some information. They may be pushing only some information. For example, in tomorrow, just like the Google does, it pushes the sponsored content. Tomorrow, these LLMs may start pushing the sponsored information. So if you want to visit 10 places in Delhi, it may show only 2 places in the Delhi, which is being pushed by the advertisement.
Amit, honestly, it will. The free
Yes.
format, eventually they will, right? So where will they get their money from? So I'm sure they will start doing that.
So I
This
believe
was my question that, how are we going to cross-check and verify everything? And then if it is a question of verifying and, how is it really simplifying our task? Because a lot of times,
Ma'am, it is going to be a kind of assistant for you. For example, you have already taken the history. Very simple example. So you have all the details in front of you. You yourself have taken the history, and you have only given the task to your ChatGPT or LLM that summarize it. And then again, you check it before you copy and paste it to the screen. So sometimes you're writing a mail. So you get you simply give some feedbacks that write a mail. Sometimes you're writing a summary. So, but to understand that whether it is written right or wrong. For example, if I am a medical person. If I ask that how to fly a plane, whatever information is coming to me, I simply cannot understand that whether this information is right or wrong. So the ChatGPT will tell me that how to fly a plane, right?
I think so. To begin with, we have to, probably start with simple tasks. And I love it because I was writing if it was left to me to compile a letter for our local authorities, for something very mundane, it would have taken me at least 2 days because due to lack of time. But I think with the Chat GPT output, it just went in no time and it did the job. So I think we need to probably start using it for very simple and maybe mundane things, and then start maybe that Rappo will is going to learn more about what we want and get smarter with that, and then we can probably start
tomorrow, just like ma'am, we are using fundus camera, and now we rely on them completely. That yes, they have been validated, they have been scientifically proven. There is.
But how do we, next, Bharat, I think, how are we going to really validate this?
Ma'am, it should be validated with the experts, putting our own clinical knowledge as reference. And
but every single case is so
and
diverse.
that is the most tricky thing, because without validation, they don't hold a value. That is why FDA is not approving it. And my simple take to the audience is, right now, use all these tools as your assistants. Don't use them as your advisors. Never consider them your advisor. Use them as an assistant just for mundane tasks, just like Purvi Madam was telling you. And you just keep playing with them. Gradually, a time will come, people will work around, and then, I don't know, they would be validated. And once they are validated, you should take into account, because there is one medical legal thing which is there. The AI will not be held guilty for providing a wrong diagnosis and treatment. You would be, being a doctor. So don't use it for treatment of any of your patients. Just use it for mundane tasks and be happy.
So yes, it can help with, again, even with presentations and stuff, but there are no references at times. References may be, not even correct. At least my personal experiences have been like that. And I think that we just probably have to learn better prompting. Any quick message to the audience beyond what we have already discussed?
So Well, Puri, I would just like to say that that it's time, as you said, that everyone who's a clinician as well, early career or an expert with years of experience, should learn to adopt. We saw that resistance to technology when we started using and talking about CGMs and pumps, and we see that resistance towards machine learning and different aspects of AI. As all the speakers have said today, that AI is a tool to assist you, and this could be in multiple different aspects of your daily life, not necessarily only medicine. Use it as an ally to your efforts to reduce their time and effort. For me, one of the biggest take-homes from today's was an aspect on reviewing. I think I struggle with my time to review articles with multiple requests and deadlines. Probably I need to figure out how to use that to at least do the initial screening and then do my bit. So I think that's going to be one aspect, but everybody should learn in their ways and their times to start using this more effectively. So though I was a person who gave the introduction, it's been a great learning for me. So many thanks to Bharat, Amit and Rakesh, and you, of course, for coordinating and putting this up together. I'll leave it to Bharat to give the final message. And if also AI can predict your wife's mood that evening, is there a particular tool, Bharat, you can enlighten me before you go?
Their AI will fail, sir, miserably. So the take-home is very simple. Right now, AI is at a stage where we should all embrace it. We should all use it. It is like a kid. We should not take cues from it. We should use it. We should mend it the way we want to. And start being familiar with AI, because a time will come when you will have more refined versions of artificial intelligence tools to use. And then you should not feel left behind. So embrace this technology, do join this curve and enjoy the life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me say, I haven't said it once, but I really want to thank RX as well as the USV teams for helping us with this webinar. Actually, technically or back end, we had a very different approach to this, and hence it was a big challenge for the tech teams, but I really appreciate your patience and all your help, that extended to us and all the audience also, so that they could log in seamlessly. So thank you again very much for that. And I thank Dr. Banshi Sabu sir, Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Manoj, Dr. Amit, and Dr. Bharat for this fascinating session. Confession here, honest confession that it was really one of the most interesting ones. So do watch out for more. We are going to be back in 3 weeks maybe for the next interesting session of Dtech Dialogues. Thank you very much and good evening to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks.